For nearly 60 years, the James Bond series has been showing film audiences what it's like to be cooler than cool, suave, and most of all, British. The most famous interchangeable English hero this side of Doctor Who has gone through endless iterations, welcoming each new era with a plethora of brand new gadgets, impossible stunts, and sometimes clown suits. Only a few things endure for the secret agent once labeled as a womanizer, the martini mostly. The recent release of the highest-grossing film in the franchise, No Time to Die, marks the last time Daniel Craig will work as Bond under Her Majesty's Secret Service. While we're sad to watch him take off the trademark suit, we're already used to seeing 007s come and go, while the essence remains. Plus, Craig has enough star power to enjoy a long and fruitful career, full of blockbusters and sleeper hits like Knives Out. His striking blue eyes and his tough appearance have made him a household name, but it's his outstanding performing talents that keep us glued to our screens. Although the British-American actor already has a staple of tentpole film releases, there's a lot about the man performing James Bond in 5 installments that the public isn't aware of. As an homage and a farewell to the most beloved secret agent of the MI6, we've chosen the best anecdotes and fun facts about the award-winning performer. After all, it's high time we got to know him better now that he's a regular civilian just like us. If you want to learn a bit more about the nonchalant spy acting under the codename 007, keep watching to find out 5 things you probably didn't know about Daniel Craig. While you're watching, make sure you like this video and subscribe to our channel to show your support. Also, remember to hit the bell icon and you'll get a notification every time we have something new for you. We work hard to bring you the latest news and fun facts about your favorite films and TV shows, so you won't regret it. Number 5. A former rugby player, a Lions fan, and a bond with Barnum. This might not come as a surprise for anyone who has seen Craig's chiseled physique on the big screen. Daniel, born in Chester in 1968, is the sturdiest James Bond that has ever served Her Majesty, and for a good reason. The actor grew up in Hoylake, a coastal town on the Wirral Peninsula in the west of the United Kingdom. While he was honing his craft as an actor, he also had other hobbies as well. Unsurprisingly, for a rowdy type, his favorite sport was rugby. And it wasn't just a hobby for him. He became a professional, playing as a fly half for his local team, Hoylake RFC. Obviously, rugby took a backseat once his acting career took off, but he is still a devoted fan. He can be spotted in Twickenham often, and he regularly travels to other countries to watch his favorite team, the British and Irish Lions. As per Ruck website, his favorite stars of all time are England and Lions legend Jonny Wilkinson, Irish great Brian O'Driscoll, and Lions hero Jonathan Sexton. Daniel also bonded with his Skyfall co-star Javier Bardem over rugby. Might not be playing competitively any longer, but we would still think twice about tackling him. Number 4. He went to school with Ewan McGregor and Joseph Fiennes. Of course, you don't become an esteemed actor just by headbutting fellow rugby players. Craig trained for years to become a professional actor. He started performing when he was 14 at his high school's production of Shakespeare's Romeo and Juliet. The experience would prove decisive for him because he would drop out of high school, but not before he had caught the acting bug. He got accepted at the National Youth Theatre in London, and he debuted in another Shakespearean play, Troilus and Cressida. He soon decided that he wanted to make a living as an actor, so he enrolled in London's prestigious Guildhall School of Music and Drama. While he was there, he got to meet some of the most well-known British artists of his generation. Ewan McGregor and Joseph Fiennes were just 2 of his classmates. It must have been surprising to find out that Joseph's older brother Ralph would become his boss in the James Bond franchise. Not many people can claim to get along with their bosses that well. Number 3. He worked as a waiter, in the kitchen, and behind the counter. Moving to London to pursue your acting dreams usually means you're gonna have to pay a few bills. Daniel Craig is no exception. While studying at the National Youth Theatre, he had to support himself by working as a waiter. Whenever he wasn't touring with the theater troupe, going to countries like Spain and Russia, he worked both in the kitchen and behind the counter making cocktails. Luckily, he soon found that the experience gave him another opportunity to further develop his acting skills. In an interview with NPR, he said that working in the service industry requires creating a persona. He had to hide behind a mask to ignore rude customers and get through the day. We can definitely understand what he means, and we wish we could also move away from the service industry and into the secret service industry. Number 2. He has broken a few James Bond records and the Connery approval. Daniel Craig has the honor of holding a few firsts in one of the longest-standing sagas in film history. One of them is that he's the first actor to portray Bond, James Bond, to be born after the series began in 1962. Craig was born 6 years later, so that means he had quite a lot of catching up to do when it came to playing Agent 007. But it's far from the only record Craig has broken in the franchise, though the next one is slightly more dubious. He's also the shortest actor to ever play Bond. Don't let that fool you into thinking he's not tall. He's 5'10", but he obviously can't compare to Sir Sean Connery's towering 6'2". Not that we care. What he lacks in height, he more than makes up for in the muscle department. If that doesn't feel like a good enough record for you, here's another one. Craig is the longest-running actor to portray the British spy. He's been playing Bond since 2006 Casino Royale, which means he's been donning the suit for 15 years. That's 3 years more than the second longest agent ever, Mr. Roger Moore. It's probably weird for him to hold that title given that he was initially reluctant to act as James Bond. Producers of the film admitted that they had to woo him for quite a while, but he didn't want to accept the role because he felt it would affect his personal life. Nevertheless, once he accepted, he was determined to nail the role because he looked up to the first James Bond, Sir Sean Connery. He revealed that Connery himself gave him his approval and support, which made him feel capable of faithfully portraying the character. We'd say he went far beyond that and breathed new life into it, but you already know that. Number 1. A ladies' man. Fiona Loudon, Heike Makach, Satsuki Mitchell, Rachel Weisz. You can't portray a seducer and martini-drinking international spy without being at least a little bit of a ladies' man yourself. It might not surprise you that Craig's love life has been pretty successful. In 1992, he married Scottish actress Fiona Loudon, though they divorced only 2 years later, sharing a daughter, Ella. Daniel then had a few more relationships with women in show business. He dated German actress Heike Makach for a total of 7 years, after which he formed a relationship with film producer Satsuki Mitchell. The two lasted for 5 years and even got engaged, but they decided to break it off before getting married. Craig's relationships are long-lasting by Hollywood standards, which suggests that he's just had bad luck until finding his perfect match. Luckily, he soon realized that it had been just under his nose. He had known famous British-American actress Rachel Weisz since they had worked together in 1994 on Les Grands Horizontales. They started dating 16 years later, in December 2010, and sparks were flying. It didn't take long for them to tie the knot. They held a private ceremony in June 2011, and when we say private, we mean it. There was only 4 guests, including the children from their former marriages. Craig and Weisz had a daughter in 2018, so it looks like the main lady killer of the MI6 is now finally settled down. Well, that's our video on the latest and least secret agent of the Secret Service, Craig. Daniel Craig. If you think something escaped our radar, give us a heads up in the comments section below. And remember, if you enjoyed this video, make sure you click on the like and subscribe buttons to show your support. While you're at it, remember to hit the bell icon too. You'll get a notification every time there's some new content available. Thanks for watching, and see you soon.